guys. I'm filming this outside, and I wanted to preface by saying I was going to try to be more presentable and more intriguing and actually do some sort of marketing for my channel, with thumbnails, interesting thumbnails. And I tried to be funny and bring out that more comical side of myself in my last two thumbnails, in my last two videos on their thumbnails, and it's fun. But I'm sitting under a beautiful moon. I'm outside. I just did a reading. I connected to my spirits and my guides, and it just doesn't it doesn't feel like me. If you look on my TikTok account, there's no marketing to it. There's no idea. It's just kind of human. It's just there. I just post what I post, and that's it. And it's completely all over the place, and I love it. And I was thinking about, so I'm going to get into what the reading was about and how that plays into this video, and control and ego death and all that. But I was, in the reading, I was thinking yes, other people have podcasts, because I was thinking I should video record this, but I'm nah, the lighting's not good. It's outside. It's nighttime. There's a lot that's not very eye-catching. And I thought why me? But then I thought, why not me? And furthermore, there's a million podcasters out there, but no one's going to do it like me. And no one's going to do it like you, no matter what you have to show or to do or whatever. No matter what your art form or non-art form is, no one's going to do it like you. And that's incredible, and you should embrace that. And so here's me embracing that. I want my videos to be real and authentic and show who I am, because I'm not a marketing girly. I'm not I want to be, and I've always wanted to be. And even I've put myself on social media my whole life. I had this YouTube channel, used to be my vlogging channel. I used to have a beauty account where I did makeup. I had a photography account, a vet tech account, because I was going to go into the veterinarian field. I had a ballet account because I used to dance ballet. Now I have a crochet account, my main account. I had a private, a Finsta. Yeah, I've had a lot. I've had a cat account for my cat. I've had a lot. So and I've talked about this before, I've mentioned it before, but on my Instagram Snapchat, I had a private story called Mitochondria. And I would just talk and talk and talk. And recording it for myself wasn't enough. And I think that's kind of funny, because now I'm at a point where in TikTok, liking the video for me is not enough. I need to repost it. I need to save it. I don't know what that is. I don't even know if they're related or not, but anyways, I want to be just who I am, and the people are going to gravitate to it or they're not. And if you want an aesthetically pleasing podcaster, this is not the account for you. This is 2 a.m. late night thoughts. This is esoteric, mystical being shit. And also like shadow self and all this cool stuff. So if this is interesting to you, follow along. Anyways, let's get into the reading. So I am subscribed to a newsletter called 17 Degrees. Highly recommend it. It's an astrological newsletter, and I learned so much. And I'm so glad that Aspen is back writing it, because the break that she needed, and I respect that and whatever. But that break, I was like, I don't know what's going on astrologically. I need an update. So now she's back writing it, and I'm very excited. And I'm not like procrastinating to read it, even though the newsletters are like long, but it's totally worth it. Basically, Pluto is going into Saturn, or it's, oh shit. Pluto is going into Saturn, Mercury's in Scorpio in retrograde. So, and I could get this wrong. Either Pluto in Saturn goes direct February 4th, 2025, or Mercury in Scorpio goes direct February 4th, 2024. Do not go after at me. A rat is running by on my electrical wires, and my cat is going to try and catch it. So that's fun. It's so peaceful at night. I love it out here. Oh, somebody's getting in their car. Anyways, between now and February, like these next couple months, it's great to dive into your shadow self and your, like, figure out what your patterns are, which is so funny because I was literally just like, I wrote this on Saturday. Today's Monday. I wrote this on Saturday, and it was like, you need to recognize your patterns. You need to pay attention to how you process information, how you receive information, how you deal with overstimulation or your emotions or whatever. Mimi? Hi. And things like that. And so Mercury being in Scorpio makes us very internal, and it's easier for us to process, because Scorpio is very much analytical, and it's like, I want to get to the root of the problem. I want to know everything about you. Like, it's very intense and very intuitive and like telepathic in a way. So having that at Mercury is going to be like, I want to know the deepest parts of you, like yourself or other people, and I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to know everything about you. I want our souls intertwined, like that deep. And it's so deep that it's, being in Scorpio, I read that in the newsletter. I read that it's not as painful to go as deep, because Scorpio is naturally that analytical and like, let's get to the bottom of this, like almost like an air sign, like let's think this through, let's, get to the root of the problem. And so I think that's very interesting, and it's great for doing healing work and just inner work and understanding. So go dive into that shit. Also, a question that I asked this morning or yesterday was, how do I know if, and this kind of plays into my YouTube video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, that was, are you resting or are you being lazy? And my question was, how do I know if I'm being lazy and I'm not doing enough to bring in my blessings, or if I'm meant to be resting and the blessing will come when it's meant to come. That has been a huge struggle for me to wrap my head around, because I'm thinking to myself, I know I have this blessing. When is it coming? Why hasn't it come yet? Is it divine timing? And if it is divine timing, what am I not doing? Like, what do I need to do to speed this up? Or on the flip side, like, I'm fine, I'm resting, this is an in-between time, this is teaching me patience and just surrender and letting go. And in my reading 12 minutes ago, I got it, and I was like, thank you for helping me. Basically, the answer is that I'm in a resting period, not a resting period, but I'm in, like, you need to let this go. You need to let this go, that you're not good enough, that your blessings aren't going to come in if you're not doing the right things, that you're going to prevent your blessings from coming in. Like, your blessings are going to come in no matter what. Even if they're delayed, they're still going to come in. And I'm not saying that they are delayed. Divine timing, it'll happen when it's meant to happen. And that was like, okay, so I'm not... And also looking at it from a standpoint of, like, did I just ask myself if I'm not worthy of this blessing coming in, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not doing enough right now for it to come in? Like, why would I think that way about myself? I mean, it's good for self-reflection, but also, why would I? If you catch my drift. Because I know there's a lot of sensitivity about, am I good enough and all that. And I think it's good that we think that way, because, like, why would we think poorly of ourselves? Like, that's not going to help anyone. And it's definitely not going to help you. So, which I also talked about in Speak No Evil. It's a good episode. Yeah, so in my reading, it was knowing that I got, I think it's the 8 of Cups, where their blessings are there, and the person on the card is walking away from their blessings towards the moon, is how I see the card. So it's like, for me, it's not that I'm walking away from my blessings, it's that I'm taking the time to relax and, like, choose myself and dive into... I almost don't even know how to describe it, other than it's just choosing myself and knowing that my blessings are there and that they'll be there when I'm ready for them. So, it's beautiful, and that's great. Another thing I got was, like, an ego death. So, branching off of that, I've talked about a couple times, in the past, I was worried about flatlining. I was worried about going nowhere in life and, like, no longer accomplishing things, not getting a good career, not finding my purpose, not working with my purpose, not doing all these things that I thought were necessary to have a meaningful and, like, fulfilling life. And I'm letting that go. And that, to me, is my ego death, because those standards are rooted in a more egotistical, like, what's the hierarchy here? What's your social status? And it's very egoic. Is egoic the right word, or egotistical? It's very egoic. It should be a word if it's not. I'm sure it is. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. It's very ego-based and ego-driven. And I'm letting that go. And I'm saying, and I started to think, like, I literally am working a 9 to 5. It's not 9 to 5. Those aren't the hours. But I work every day, where it is like a 9 to 5 in that sense. And I was like, I never want to work a 9 to 5. And right now, I still don't want to work every day. But I love my job. And I'm super blessed to have it. So I'm grateful for it. And also, furthermore, it's okay to, I think a 9 to 5 is not ideal, but I also agree that it's okay to just like, you don't always have to be on that spiritual grind, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't always have to be crystals and meditating and inner work and healing and I don't know, Reiki, like whatever, expanding or not. Like, you don't always have to be doing that. It's okay to be human and just like fucking sometimes autopilot it, which I've also talked about. Like, it's kind of just like our baseline, I guess. And I think it's okay because it also like passes the time. And one of the reasons why people are like, time passes so fast is because we're not present. Like, we're not present 24/7, 365. We're not. It's more like 4 hours, 3 times a week for 320 days. Or maybe not even 320 days. Probably like, that was crazy. Probably like 170 days out of the year. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, if you don't feel like you're doing enough in your life, because I know like when you hit, I'm about to be 20, so when you hit those 20s, there's kind of like some societal standards, or like, not standards, but like the average thing that 20s are doing. Your early 20s, you're probably college. Mid 20s, you see a lot of people getting married. Some people, late 20s, are even having kids. And this is not for everyone. This is just like, I feel like what I see. And like, or mid 20s is getting a career. You're starting your career. You're out of school. I don't know. I feel like it's normally one of those 2 things, or one of those 3 things: married, school, career, or kids. So it's okay to, what I'm saying is, it's okay to not live by those norms or those standards, and it's better for you if you let go of them as being like your default and your sort of like checkpoints. Like, they don't have to be your checkpoints. You get to write your own checkpoints, and that's amazing. And you just have to have grace for yourself when you're writing those and when you're creating them and living in them. Like, and yeah, there'll be days where you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm 25 and I haven't done shit. Like, no, like, you're okay. 8:11 on the timer. And you're okay, and you may not be physically doing things, but you're still like, you're still thinking every day. You're still breathing every day. You're still waking up in the morning. You're still doing your tasks. You're still being alive. And I think as long as you're conscious and using your brain, you're fine. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, my current worst fear is like waking up every day and going on my phone 24/7, which I don't do, but like being on my phone, glued to a phone 24/7. Like, that to me is numb, and it seems quite awful. I don't want to live like that. It seems so disconnected, which is okay. Some people need to disconnect, and I think that's fine. In, what's that called? With a balance. You know what I mean? Like, you can bed rot, but with a balance. Don't bed rot so hard that you and the bed become one. This is getting way off topic. Anyways, that's kind of it. So don't be afraid of life. Remember, you have free will. I did like a model strut down my neighborhood road today, or last night, and I just shouted, like, and I'm finding my purpose, and I'm really, really thankful and proud of myself for how far I've come, because earlier this year, I had no idea what my purpose was, hence why I posted so many purpose videos. And now I know what it is, and I want to make people feel alive and make them feel a part of things. Like, I want to feel alive. And sometimes, a lot of times, shouting makes me feel alive, and like laughing and jumping with joy makes me feel alive and excited, and like it literally feels so good to just shout and jump and say, fuck yeah. I'm not going to scream it right now because there's people sleeping in my home, but it feels good to be alive, and I want to embody that, and I want other people to feel that too, because I feel like that is so healing, and like, yeah, like that is so exciting and hopeful and thrilling and exciting and thrilling and exciting, and it's like, yeah, like it's like, woo. So, and I'm happy. It makes me so happy. So get excited about life, because you have free will, and that's pretty powerful. You have free will. That's sick. Having free will is so cool, and we should exercise it more, so long as you're not negatively affecting someone else. Yeah, that's it. Peace and love. Bye.